All right, it says that I'm live, but I'm not quite sure. This is so strange. Oh, that's much better. I can rest my elbow. So if you are finding me live, if you could go ahead and let me know, that would be great. I'm trying to get a little bit of, see which, see which way might be better. I'm going to turn my chair a little bit. So hope somebody can let me know that they can see me okay and they can hear me okay. I'm not getting any of the chats. Oh, good. Thanks, Randy. Okay, let me try this. Okay, all right. It's not the best, is it? Oh, that's better, but you're going to see all my clothes and my suitcase behind me. Oh, well. I'll have to deal with it. Okay. All right, that's better. Oh my gosh. All right. So, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from. I am in Utah. So, I'm glad that you can hear me okay. I'm going to take a deep breath because I've been at this for a while. So, I'm in Utah and I am here. So, the first thing I want to let you know is that the title of this is supposed to be Blowing Open Limits. So I'm going to be talking about blowing open or expanding the limitations of your limiting belief system. Because in this frequency forecast, what's happening about truth and the frequency of truth is really increasing at a rapid rate, especially over the next 6 years. That's going to be happening. But this 6 months is going to be a game changer in how you think. Now, I'll tell you in a minute where I am, why I'm here, what's going on, and why am I talking about limitations. Don't change that dial because I'm going to be maybe even talking about UFOs and aliens. So if that is outside of your limiting beliefs, remember this video is about blowing open those limiting beliefs. Okay, so it's so exciting. I can see you all from Alabama and from Ghana and Michigan and Kelowna. So I'm being able to see a little bit at the bottom. I have to say I'm a little embarrassed. I never knew I could go live on YouTube. Never knew that. All right. So let me just start off by telling you my story. First of all, I had a really great talk prepared, and I'm going to save it because it's a really, really good talk. It's some really valuable information about how to work with yourself moving into these higher frequencies. And I was given the information from the blue light star beings and from very high level beings. And I'm only going to just share with you a little hint. It's called reverse engineering of how you think, reverse engineering of how you manifest. So when I get home, I'll talk about that. So let me just share with you how all this started. So I am here in Utah in the United States. I'm in a little town of population of 10,000 people. It's known, this area is like in the top 3 UFO sightings, that has UFO sightings in the world. So the top 3. The conference that I'm at is called Phenomicon. And what got me into knowing about Phenomicon was through a television series called Skinwalker Ranch. So I'm going to tell you a little bit story about how I got there. However, I will let you know we've had a couple of sightings already. We've already had a few weird and wacky things happening. And I'm not sure how long this stream will hold up. So if it ends, it ends. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking. So how did all this start? So my name is Nancy Rebecca. If you are new to my channel, I am a retired registered nurse. I worked intensive care and hospice. I had a spontaneous out-of-body experience 30 years ago. I became suddenly sighted. I could see energy fields, etc. All right, so I've been teaching people about intuitive development, psychic development. So that's what I do now. Now, I'm a pretty practical person, and my dream was to teach you all, anyone who had the eyes to see and the ears to hear, about how important the health of your energy field is. All right, so that's what I've been doing for 30 years, and I have learned a lot about the human body, the human energy field, about consciousness, and about how just shifting your perspective a little bit can change everything about you into a much more grounded, stable place. So UFOs, aliens, Sasquatch, I was already into ghost and that kind of stuff because I could see spirits, but that was not on my radar. Now, yes, Enoch, Utah. Yeah, in a whole other dimension. This area is in a whole other dimension. All right, let me share my story with you. So 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was stage 1, but it was a very aggressive form of breast cancer. So, which means I had to go through chemotherapy and radiation. So chemotherapy is not for sissies. That's all I will say. And it was pretty rough. And I was trying to keep my headspace out of that chemotherapy headspace. That's all I will say. People have been through chemotherapy, they're going to know what I mean. So I wanted to find something to watch on television, some show that was completely out of my wheelhouse, and something that would have me so focused, so engaged, because it wasn't something I was used to thinking about. So I did a little search and I found a show called Ancient Aliens. So if any of you are an Ancient Alien fan, go ahead and put that in the comment section. If you've never heard of it, put that in the comment section. Never watched it, put it in the comment section. What happened was I looked at that and I thought, no, that's interesting because I love ancient history, ancient archaeology, megalithic sites. I love all that stuff. And so Ancient Aliens show has that. But this is what blew my mind, talking about blowing the limits of your mind. It had 20 friggin' seasons, 20 seasons, all right? The first thing I thought to myself is, Nancy, where have you been? You have this show, Ancient Aliens. Our young people, I have a whole generation behind me that's schooled up on this alien business, and I know nothing about it. And so I thought from that educational point of view that I should watch it. And I watched all 20 seasons, and it really kept me engaged. My mind off of not feeling good to being pretty interested in what was being said. And I did think a few things were really a stretch. It's like, that's a stretch to think that aliens built, Stonehenge or something, or the pyramids, right? That's where my head was. All right. So now the show's over, and now I'm hooked. The next thing you know, this show, Skinwalker Ranch, comes up. So I started watching Skinwalker Ranch. And so 3 years ago, I decided to come to Utah to find out more about it. All right, so Skinwalker Ranch, if you know what Skinwalker Ranch is, just put that in the comments section. Um, Skinwalker Ranch, so it's a site, it's a, I don't know, 500-acre site. It's been being studied. Our government put $20 million into studying the high frequency, high weirdness of things that happen, high UFO sightings. So, yes, our government paid a man by the name of Robert Bigelow, invested $20 million to study this. So that you can do a deep dive on that. And they'll talk about it on the show. Then there was another man. Bigelow now's done with his studies over 20 years, sells it to another man, Brandon Frugal, who is a real estate mogul here in Utah. All right. So the History Channel wanted, for 5 years, wanted to do a show on about Skinwalker Ranch. Brandon Frugal's like, no way, because you sensationalize things. If I were to do it, I would want it to be real, the truth. Okay. So I think it's going to start season 5. So when my mother and I came 3 years ago, we came to this conference. I expected to see people with goofy hats, aluminum foil hats. Sorry, don't mean to offend anyone, but that I didn't know that people in the world took this seriously. Now I'm telling you, I'm speaking my truth of my limiting mind. I did not know people took this kind of stuff seriously. All right, so now let me leap. Yesterday was the first day of the conference, and the first speaker in the morning, his name is Hanson. He's on the show UFO Witness, and he worked with in Utah, like a social worker who worked with young children who'd gone through abuse and trauma, and so he helped with that. Then he started working with the FBI, the CIA. He graduated from Columbia, no, not Columbia University. I can't remember. All right. Anyway, let's just say he knows his stuff. So he came on, and so he's talking yesterday, and he's talking about how the mindset of people who are afraid to talk about UFOs or to talk about aliens or to talk about abductions. And yes, the secret, thank you, Gail, the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. So what they found was during COVID, and that when we had that global pandemic, was a small sample of those who study humans, a small sample of how people can react when their, we'll say, rights taken away, or choice. That's a better word, choice taken away. All right. So now they've done this huge study. It's going to be published. And Yvonne, if you're listening in, if you can remember which university he's from, I'd like to get that, where he's publishing this paper through. There were quite a few high-level researchers who studied this. What they were saying was that when you're faced with something unusual, so let's say you saw a Bigfoot, or you saw a Sasquatch, you saw a celestial being or a star being. We talk about star beings, that's digestible. But if we think about aliens or abductions, that's not digestible. So they've done this study of what happens when you feel like you don't have the choice about what to think about. Like if you were faced with that, what would happen with the world? So I'm just going to make this leap, because when they talk about it's being hidden from us all these years, they're saying the world wouldn't be able to handle it. We wouldn't be able to mentally handle it. So I love listening to him for an hour and a half, because I think, so Tamara here's like, I'm an experiencer here. Well, that's basically, I said, information is knowledge. So let us know about this. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. He said he can send, before it's published, if I just give him my email, I'll find him today. He'll send me the study. So I'll give you more information later. All right. So let's get off all that stuff. Let's get to some fun stuff because the stream is still working. So I'm excited. All right. So I'm here with Yvonne, of course. I'm here with my mother. I'm here with my friend Kim Sear, amazing, amazing psychic. So you can look her up, kimsear.com. Shout out, Kim. And then my dear, dear friend, Donna Duff, amazing psychic, amazing healer. So the five of us are here. And we ended up, so on Skinwalker Ranch, it's kind of in this valley, and there's this mesa. So they've already recorded UFOs going into the mesa. They literally can just fly. A plane would crash, a UFO doesn't. It goes right into the rock. They've captured it going 350 miles an hour through the rock and then out the other side. So the five of us found who owns the property at the top of the mesa. And so day before yesterday, we went there on an ATV tour. So that's that little four-wheel drive thing. And so we go on this little ATV tour. Now we're on top of the mesa where the UFOs go in and out. And someone wrote me here and said, please, please, Nancy, please be really careful. I hope that you have people around you to protect you. So just want to let you know that we are really keeping ourselves safe. Not to say we didn't have a mind-blowing experience. So there's this, we felt weird, we felt strange. At one point, I felt I was levitating a little bit. So if you imagine like being lifted off the ground 2 or 3 inches, you know how when you pick up a dog and you're holding the little dog over the water and it's doing the dog paddle thing? Well, that's what it felt like to me. Like I'm levitating a little bit, but I'm my body wants to walk, but there's nothing but air underneath me. At the same time, I'm tasting this metallic taste. Um, Kim ended up seeing the whole top of the mesa come off and could see like all this underground stuff going on. All of us were having these wild experiences, and we still haven't integrated it yet. So I'll be happy to share with you more about that once we've had more time. We did a little remote viewing, the five of us, and again, at another time, we'll share a little bit more with that. But it's highly, highly active portal. Let me put it that way. So when I'm talking about blowing open limiting beliefs, so I've been working with the human energy field for a long time. I've been working with human consciousness. I've been working with lovely people. And this is what I've grown to know. If you have limiting beliefs around something, your spirit will help you to create those limits so you don't see what's limiting you, so you can validate what you believe. Does that make sense? So I learned this the hard way when I said, I always have bills. I always have bills. Every time I get a little bit of money, there's always bills. Every time I get a little bit of money, my car breaks down and then I lose money again. And then my teacher said, well, if you keep saying that all the time, if that's your belief, then all you're going to have is bills. And when I changed my thinking around that, it changed. You know, I still have bills, but when I'd have money, nothing had to break down. I could keep it. So if you were entering a time where, if you've been following me for a while, you know I have this saying, move or be moved. And the spirit told me that. Move, Nancy, you can move yourself or you can be moved, which means you can have a mind-blowing, expanding, aha, what the heck moment that can knock you off your feet, and you might be integrating it for a couple of years. Or you can venture in with your big toe wade into the water little bits at a time before you jump into the lake. So that's kind of what I did with this. I thought, I'm going to go to Utah and I'm going to push my discomfort a little bit. Um, I'm going to do it on my own. I don't need to have a big experience, just little experiences. So last night, um, I woke up and it felt like I had gone somewhere else. It didn't feel like the dream world. It felt like I was somewhere else. So that's been happening the last few nights. But my mother comes down for coffee this morning and she said last night she was looking out the window. We've got forest all around us. And there's this circular area and the light was glowing. It was coming up through the earth and the whole area was glowing. And so she said, I must be seeing things. Am I dreaming? She said she went to the restroom. She comes back. She gets her glasses. She cleans them. She keeps coming back. And it's just glowing pure light. Well, in the show, it will show at times the whole mesa will glow with this glowing light. Part of our tour, when we were on top of the mesa, we got to visit an ancient indigenous sacred stone circle that indicates that there's a large portal in the area. In the show, they had indigenous drummers come in, and when the drummers would drum, it was at night, they filmed it, you can see it on the show, the stone circle completely glows blue light, blue light. When they stopped drumming, the blue light would stop. So I'm mentioning that because I'm talking so much about the blue light. So it's blue light. Now now Skinwalker Ranch is only about 20 minutes from where I'm staying right now. There's another place called Blind Frog Ranch, and they were drilling a hole. Blue light came out of the hole, and they said there were 9 UFOs that were flying through the blue light back and forth. All right, so I'm heading into day 2 of a 4-day conference. So I'm giving myself a little bit of wiggle room every time. I'm really at the heartfelt level, highly educational, or people who've had very heartfelt, unnerving experiences. I'm getting to meet some incredible people, and I'm going to invite all of you to join me next year. It's always around the Labor Day weekend. So you heard, if you listen to the Pam Gregory interview, what the Blue Beings of Light said, in the next 5 years, we are going to be galactic celestial beings, new cosmic cultures are going to start revealing themselves. So they've always been here. We are not able to see them because we don't have the eyes to see yet. We might have limiting beliefs that make us want to put the veil between us and seeing it. But in the next 5 years, we're going to have more experiences. So my question to myself is, Nancy, do you want to take it in small doses or do you want the big shock value? Well, I'm kind of a small dose kind of person. I don't like the shock value. I've had the 2x4 effect. So we're growing, we're going, and it's becoming the new normal. Now I've got the fall equinox that's coming up in a couple of weeks. The Spirit's already telling me it's about shifting ancestral knowledge, high level ancestral knowledge. So we're going to be shifting from the past, helping to shift out and raise excuse me, raise 7 generations behind us and raise 7 generations in the future. So I'm going to leave you with this action step in preparation for the fall equinox. What are the frequencies that you want to share? So if we have other celestial beings, cultures, sharing with us this incredible loving frequency, what frequency do you want to share with them? Do you want it to be a fearful frequency? So for me, when they were asking me, what frequencies do I want to share with the generations in the future? I thought the things that are important to me are curiosity. I love scientific studies and intelligence. I love ancient connections. Like I started writing down. So I'm going to encourage you right now. What are the frequencies you want to send in the future? Now I'm just going to give you a little hint, and then we're going to do a meditation so we can release limiting thought patterns. Start releasing them. So they guided me through a meditation because they said, Nancy, you and everyone on the earth right now influences 7 generations. It's called the 7 generation philosophy. You can look it up online. So as they're guiding me through this meditation, I could really see that the first generation was really lit up. The third was really lit up, excuse me, second, and the third, but the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh generations were not lit up. So I asked Spirit, how come it's not lit up? And it said, because you're not intending that your light, your influence, the soul of who you are that makes you you. So makes Nancy Nancy and makes you you. You're not intending to uplift the 7 generations that don't exist yet. We must start doing that. So in my meditation, those qualities that were important to me, and I will tell you, curiosity, imagination, playfulness, open-mindedness, I've tried to grow into that. And so I just started like building that frequency to send into all the way to the 7 generations. Now, you would think that that was easy, but it wasn't. So we're going to be doing work with that at the fall equinox. So I'll I'll make sure that if you go to my website, intuitivemind.org, you'll see right at the top, you can sign up for that. You can get the recording or the live or the extra bonus meditations. But I'm going to be talking about this for the next several months because it's like building a muscle, a consciousness muscle. We need to build our consciousness muscle around how we're going to uplift 7 generations. Why? Because thousands of years ago, you heard me say this, thousands of years ago, our ancestors were uplifting us for this time. All right. My arm's getting tired from holding the phone, but I'm so glad that I got to pop on this morning. So let's just do a little meditation. It's going to be short, sweet, but we're going to intend to let go of limiting thought patterns that do not allow for us to see the truth of what's really going on in the world. Not just, we'll just say, not just the 3D stuff, but the galactic stuff, or the earthly fairies and little people and Sasquatches, all that, right? That's the kind of limitations we're going to let go of today. All right, so go ahead, close your eyes. Where I can really feel the vibes, where I am really coming through to you all. Hoping it won't blow you out of the water. Talk to your body just a minute and listen to your body just a moment to sense what's coming up for you as we all share our frequencies together, and the frequencies, the more expanded frequencies. Ask your body how it's feeling about that. If it's feeling a little afraid, just say that's okay. If it's feeling a little anxious, that's okay. You just let your body know, I'm not leaving you behind. You're coming with me. Oh, whoa. Wow, I just had a profound rush of loving frequency, and it is coming from the land here. So I'm just going to pass that on to you all. And all of us, our collective love with each other. All right. Now, say hello and have a chat with your higher soul self. So, for those of you who are brand new to energy, just know that part of your spirit illuminates your life, and part of your spirit resides and illuminates in the other dimensions. So, that's where you can just send a message, your higher self, and say, I'd like to be imaginative, playful. My intention today is to just let go of enough limiting beliefs for my comfort level. I mean, really, who likes to be pushed? You get to say it. You get to make that decision. I'm only going to let go of enough limiting beliefs for today to help me expand into the new frequencies and truth that's coming in over the next weeks, months, years. Nice. All right, the grounding is really starting to settle here. I'm thanking the ancestors of the land here for helping us to ground, and many of you are starting to ground. Excuse me. So grounding is an invisible energy force that stabilizes you physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Right now, pretend and imagine a beautiful grounding force. So it can be a tree, ancient tree. It could be crystals, stardust, beautiful silk cloth. It can be anything you desire. And then help settle it around the lower part of your energy field. Include your legs. Have it pass through the earth's crust all the way to the center of the earth. And if it was a silk cloth, for example, you could tie the other end at the center of the earth. And let gravity gently pull you into that grounded state where I'm hearing Spirit say, where you are grounded into all things possible, all possibilities. We're going to stay in this present moment while we ground into all future possibilities. Thank you, James, for saying today's date is September 5th, 2024. Remind yourself of your current age. opening to free choice and freedom. You get to choose what frequency would you like to rinse your aura with today? What frequency, or maybe you'd like a combination of frequencies like rainbow, and we're going to release all limiting belief systems that are right for you today that might be locking up the flow of your energy field. And Spirit just showed me like a little, the plastic that goes over the bread and it has the little metal twisty tie. It's like your field can be full of twisty ties. It can be full of little locks. It could be full of little metal bobby pins. But the reason why it's metal is because it's mental energy. So just pretend whatever little imagery you want to use for limiting belief systems. Let the color of the frequency come down into the room where you are. Let it flow through the top of your aura, and it's going to rinse all the way down through your aura, through your body, and it's just going to wash just enough limiting belief systems to stay comfortable, for your body to stay comfortable, for the highest good of you, and let it wash, just wash all those little metal clips down your grounding. For many of you out there, I'm seeing there's a lot of those little clips going down the spine. So just set your intention to do a little extra rinse through your spinal column. Now, as I'm looking out at all of you, I can see they're loosening up on the left side of the spinal column. So just do now a little extra rinse down the right side of your spinal column. Remind yourself of today's date, your current age. Rinse them out of your hips, out of your pelvis, out of your legs. Beautiful, Leanne. I love that you hear you are safe. Now, if you feel like you would like to feel and experience some of the frequencies that are going to be coming in over the next few weeks, months, or maybe over the next 5 years, I'm going to call them kind of a galactic frequencies, celestial frequencies. I love that, Catherine. Use your child heart, your childlike heart. And just ask to feel and experience some of those frequencies coming in. So you know how beautiful they might be. And if you're feeling any fear at all, just allow the fear to drain down your grounding. Beautiful. I can really sense a lot of beings from the other dimensions really gathering. I can experience and sense. So I'm wondering what you're sensing. It's like a contentment, a unifying contentment. So go ahead and thank your body really for its willingness to move or begin to move beyond the limitations of your mind. Thank your spirit for all of its incredible support to help teach you and help you to start to sense those subtle shifts and expansions. And then whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. Look around the room and stretch. And get ready for a more expanded day. So, now that I know that I can go live on YouTube, you all might be in trouble. You might hear from me more than you might want to, but I'm going into day 2 of the conference. Just to let those who are Ancient Alien fans know, I got to have my picture taken with Nick Pope yesterday. He was a CIA investigator in England, in London, Britain, and he's going to be talking today, and I can't remember who else, somebody I'm super excited about. So remember, we'll put the link in, or you can go to intuitivemind.org. I have free meditations there under the shop button. Just go to free. I have free meditations there. My videos usually have free meditations. I have the fall equinox called the Equinox Accelerator. Again, you can get the recording even if you can't join. You can purchase the recording. That's available. And I have a free blue light meditation. So I think that we'll put that link in here, and then a free intuitive style quiz to learn what your intuitive style is. So bad hair day, I'm just going to let you know that my hair is a big deal. I'm from the South and my hair's a big deal. And I can see my hair sticking up all over the place. And it's really bugging me. And I'm letting it go. All right, everybody, have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. Thanks for tuning in this morning. And whew, thanks for bearing with me as I was getting my electronics working. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.